All right, so Tuesday PDI. First, I just wanted to mention a couple quick things about Tuesday. So the whole philosophy behind Tuesday is to set up the new week, and set them up in every single way, whether it's from, mentally, logistically, their schedule, their skills. Tuesday is normally a really, really big PC day. And today you guys aren't going to do PCs because you'll be at the meeting, but you will be doing PDI before you go to the meeting. So the meeting doesn't start till 11 a.m. So I try and get around in right now at 8 a.m. And then whoever you don't reach, try calling them right before the meeting and shooting them a text message like, hey, I'm going to be in a meeting all day. So you can contact, Mary Lou if you have any questions at all. And then once you get out of the meeting, before you go to your first demo for Tuesday, I would do your second round of calls. And tomorrow, I'll be a little bit more lenient with the second update because you'll be in the meeting until 7, so you're not going to be able to get a full round in before, your 7:30 update. But I'd like an update, by 9:30. So again, the philosophy for Tuesday is just all about setting up the week. So I wanted to talk about 3 things real quick, or 4 things. The first one, what the PDI is going to be. The second thing is I wanted to talk about how you collect kits back or contact references from people that are inactive or have not been, you haven't been able to, reach in the last few days. 3, we're going to talk about how to, do the first PC that you should be having with all of your team. And then again, how to promote the division meeting and the team meeting this Wednesday so we make sure that we have rock in attendance. Remember, the more people that you talk to on a daily basis and get to events, the longer they're going to stick around, on your team. And I know some of you have some wishy-washy teams right now. Some of them are inactive, and that's okay. This week after this training class, hopefully we can add, 1 to 2 more badasses to each of your squads. So make sure that you're on your receptionist so that they are setting a ton of people so we can add some more people to your team. So with Tuesday PDI, the first thing, that you want to jot down, and I'm going straight off, the PDI playbook, and then I'll take a couple things from 10 Thoughts for the Right PDI Attitude, the one with my scribbles on it. But from the PDI playbook, it says, number 1, find out what didn't get rolled for the week so you know what representatives / office sales are at so far. What I'd like to do is more like a look back, look forward. So if you go on the manager Rolo, which I can give you access to, or you can even check on PDI what their sales were for last week, just kind of looking back at what happened for the week and asking them, how they felt about their week before. And they're either going to, be in one of 3 places. Either they're going to be feeling really great about the week that they just had. They're going to be feeling kind of in the middle about the week they just had. Or 3, they're going to be feeling, very poorly about the week that they just had. And so let's talk about situation number 1, which is when they felt really great about the week that they had. So if they feel really great about the work that they did the week before, obviously you want to give them praise about it. And the number 1 thing that I always, tell assistant managers as we're training them is you always praise their actions and give very little praise, to their results. So if somebody had a really great week, or even if they sold $1,000 for the week, it's asking them, cool, you sold $1,000, and they might be really excited about that. The second question to ask them is, how many demos did they do that week? Maybe they only did 1 demo and sold $1,000. If we're praising actions, you don't want to praise them doing 1 demo. That means that they only worked for like 3 hours that week. That doesn't really, warrant any kind of praise. And so it's telling them, hey man, nice job on, getting an average order, $1,000, but dude, kind of dropped the ball a little bit with the number of demos that you did. What do you feel held you back? And then diving in with them and figuring out what held them back on getting more demos done for that week, and giving them some tips on how they can get more demos. Maybe they had an issue with time management. 90% of the time is they didn't have enough names to call because some of them might suck at getting recommendations. So if that's the case, then you need to schedule a PC ASAP. And the best time to do a PC is, Wednesday before the team meeting or Wednesday right after the team meeting. So I'd plan to have that with them since you're already going to be at the office, or even better, take them field training with you, and then you can talk about it on the way there. When you leave the appointment, they can watch you get recommendations, which is super, super powerful. So the first one is if they feel really great about their week, remember to always praise their actions and give very little praise to their results, okay? Now, let's say they worked really, really hard and they had a huge sales week. Then it's just a giant celebration, and then building vision to how they can take that week even higher. So it's like, dude, you did X, Y, Z. How can we take that to the next level? How cool would it be? And these are some questions that are on the 10 thoughts for the right PDI attitude, the one with all my scribbles on it. It says here, I love the page that says questions to excite. That's a really great way to follow that up, or questions to encourage, or even where it says, dang, can't find it right now, but questions to excite. These are some great questions to ask your people to get them excited and build vision to have a bigger week the next week. Are you ready to have a huge week? Are you ready to explode? Are you ready to double your biggest week? Are you going to be the one that just sells a bunch? Or are you going to be the one who shapes the development and sets the standards? There's another great question that says, dude, have you had a $2,000 week yet? Wouldn't it be cool if you not only sold 2,000, but you went straight to 3,000? And then, giving them some confidence and telling them, obviously that you believe that they can get it done. You can say, you can totally beat your last week. You have to beat, blank person. Let's do it. Are you going to beat him? Or are you going to crush him or her? Something else that gives them a lot of motivation is getting them excited to beat you for the week. And that also holds you accountable to your goals too. So, if I'm Matthew Lindner right now, or any of you that were in the newsletter, it's like, dude, I was on the newsletter last week. Like, how cool would it be if you beat me for the week? Like, let's set a contest and set some silly contest with them. I know one of our guys back in Miami set a contest with one of the first people he ever coached, and was like, dude, if you beat me for the week, like, I'll wear a coconut bikini top to the team meeting and a grass skirt. And he lost, and he had to come to the team meeting wearing a coconut bikini top and a grass skirt, but his representative beat him for the week. So it not only did it help him, but it also helped his representative and his confidence for future sales. And I remember that rep stuck around, so he was at about $6,000 to $8,000 in sales. So you never know what kind of motivation or what kind of things excite them. So maybe set a fun contest like that. That's always good. And so just get them excited if they had a good week, and build vision towards having an even bigger one the next one. So second scenario is if they had an average week and they're feeling okay about it. So if you flip over in the packet, the 10 thoughts for the right PDI attitude packet, and you go to where it says great Monday through Tuesday questions, great Tuesday through Thursday questions. Where it says great Monday through Tuesday questions, this is really where the bulk of Tuesday PDI comes in. It says, you sold, let's say, $500 last week. How do you feel about that? If they say they could have done better, then you say, what held you back? Do you want some advice to overcome that? And then, taking whatever they tell you and giving them some tips. And sometimes if it's like they're super down about it, just schedule them for a PC. That's probably the best thing that you can do. If they felt satisfied or felt lucky, then you can say, I totally think you could do better if you make some small changes. Are you interested in learning how to improve on last week? And again, really the answers to these questions comes down to a couple things. Learning their skill set, so pages 8, 9, and 16. Or you might even need to go field training with them, or invite them field training with you. So the answer to their question might even be, dude, if you want to improve on last week, come field training with me. I've been having success with these areas of the business that you're lacking in, and I feel it could really help you, if you come watch me. Field training is a really great answer to solve a lot of representatives' problems. A lot of the time, all they're lacking is confidence. So when they go see you, interact with the customer, even if you have a no sale, that's still super huge for them. If they get to see you. An example would be like May went to go see JD. JD had an appointment that was a no sale, no recommendations, and May went to see his appointment, and right after, was able to drop, I think like $300, So don't feel bad if they see like a bad appointment or if you didn't do your best. Just them watching you interact with customers is totally going to help them out. So another thing you can ask them is, what do you feel would be a lot of Cutco for you to sell in 1 week? What do you think would hold you back? If I showed you a way to do that, what would you want to try? So sometimes they'll tell you, what do you feel would be a lot of Cutco for you to sell in 1 week? Some people might tell you 500, others 1,000. If it's one of your top kids, they might say 5,000. Whatever it is, use that as a tool to help you get them excited about the next week. And you can ask them the same, questions where it says questions on how to excite, and then it can lead you to helping them, get a good schedule. And my biggest suggestion is, no matter what the response is, getting them scheduled for a PC, getting them scheduled for a field training. That's where you can really dive in. Tuesday is just all about the mindset and getting them set up to come in ready to go to make phone calls that day, get a couple demos that same day, and come in ready to go for a team meeting on Wednesday. So the next section here is where it says, great Tuesday through Thursday questions, creating demos through phone time. This is huge for Tuesday. Tuesday should be, a 15K plus day in our office tomorrow, or today rather, because this is when you're watching it. It's going to be a lower day just because all of you guys are going to be at the Alliance meeting. But whoever we do have on our team that's not going to be there for whatever reason, if they can get 2+ demos, that'll be huge for us to have, a 7K plus day. And all of you should have a demo right after the Alliance meeting as well to continue to build your rec base as we move towards the push. So great Tuesday through Thursday questions. It says here, are you doing the number of demos you want to do each day? If yes, say, how do you feel about the results you're getting? Would you like some advice on how to get more from the same amount of work? And again, the answers to the questions are always going to be either directed towards a Vector Connect video, field training, or a PC. If they say no, they're not doing the number of demos that they want to do each day, it's, what do you think is holding you back? Would you like guidance on how to get more each day? And maybe it's for that, it's like a couple different tweaks from getting more people to call, which you can help fix to a PC, or maybe even them listening to you do some phone calls because maybe they suck on the phone. So have you ever thought about doing your phone time in the office? Excuse me, why haven't you come in just yet? If I set some of my time aside to help you, would you meet me at blank? How much do you think you would sell if you did 7 demos in a day? And again, helping build that vision. So something else is that next section right there, great Monday, Tuesday, and Friday questions, drive Sunday and Wednesday phone jam, is if you could do, and throw a number out there, whatever number you think is going to excite them. If you could do 3 per day, would you want to do them? Can I help you get to 3 per day? If I could show you how to sell 7,000 in 1 week, would you want to try? And by the way, these are even questions I'd be asking yourself. Like, if you could do, X amount of demos per day, would you do them? Could you do them? Would you be excited about doing it? Have you pinpointed in your schedule when you're having your biggest, week ever? And it doesn't have to be during the push. It could be pre-push. How cool would it be if you had your biggest week ever, maybe even the most demos you've done in 1 week, the week before the push, build a lot of momentum, that it's going to help you get X amount of recommendations, before the push. Like usually whatever you do in momentum week, that next week, sales that first week of the push is going to increase on a low end by 5%, if not by 20%. Then that second week of the push, that doubles. Your first week usually doubles. So if your momentum week is good, that means your first week statistically is going to be 5 to 20% higher, and your next week should be 50% or more higher than your week 1. So everything you do this week is obviously going to make a huge impact. And that's something to even think about with your team, is whatever sales momentum you're going with into the push makes a huge difference on what's going to happen on week 2. So with that being said, as an office this week, we need to have about a 75 K week, so that the next week we can do about 120-ish, even 150. And then week 2 of the push, we definitely need to do 200. And then those last remaining days, we need to ship, another 50 to 75K plus, which I definitely think we can do if we have the right things in place. But it all comes down to you guys and what you're promoting to your team, the vision, that you're building for them, which is why Tuesday is so huge, because it helps set up the week. So just make sure you're looking back on their week and then saying, okay, well, how did you feel about it? How can we move forward from it? And then the action you're taking with them is getting them scheduled for a PC, getting them field trained. And if for whatever reason you can't find a time on both of those, then you're directing them to a Vector Connect video or something as simple as getting their pages 8, 9, and 16 down. Because if they don't have their foundation down, then nothing else is really going to matter, which is why I wanted everybody to come in early for Wednesday team meeting anyway, so I can start getting all their skills checks done earlier. And for you guys, I'd like to have you guys in at 8 a.m. and I texted all of you about this earlier today today I'm on Monday, but this is Tuesday, so earlier yesterday, because Kathy is going to be running a special alliance meeting specifically for the West Houston office. And even if somebody's not on alliance, but they just have a great attitude, I'd love to have them there at 8 a.m. That way you guys can get your phone jamming done earlier, and you can focus on like PDI or working with your team right after, the team meeting breaks instead of making your phone calls. And we all know that you're going to reach more people if you get there early in the morning versus if you're making calls later in the day. So be there at 8 a.m. on Wednesday and see who else from your team has a really great attitude or who's been responding to you can get there on Wednesday morning. So that's pretty much the Wednesday PDI in terms of mindset and what you're framing in their mind. The second thing is, once again, which brings me to the next point on the list, is the division meeting and the team meeting. Okay, so for team meeting, again, super simple, but super important that we're setting them up the right way. Is so if you flip on the page, 10 thoughts of the right PDI attitude, there's a section that says questions to drive team meeting and Wednesday phone jam attendance. It says, hey, I was just calling to touch base with you before the team meeting. What time were you planning on coming in? Again, it's not a are you coming to team meeting or will you be there? It's what time were you planning on coming in? And for most of you today, you didn't really ask them that question, so you can still ask them this tomorrow and guide them to come in earlier. So when they say, oh, I'll be there at 10 a.m., your response to that is going to be, actually, I was calling because Kathy is having a special meeting. It's kind of like a key staff candidate meeting or a meeting for those people that are going to be a part of our 3K or 6K or 10K Alliance Wednesday morning. And instead of coming in at 10, they'll come in at 8. We'll have a meeting with Kathy, which is going to be awesome. She's actually in town this week. So even for you guys, this is pretty exciting. She's going to be in the office on Wednesday morning. So take advantage of that. And I'd be getting as many as your guys from the team there as possible, because we all know Kathy's not really in the office anymore. So the more time they can spend with her, the better they're going to do. So I tell them, Kathy's actually, in town this week. She's going to be at the meeting on Wednesday. I'm fired up to see her, Wednesday morning. So I'd love to have you there so you can be in the meeting. We'll make calls before the team meeting kicks off at 10 a.m. and then you'd be able to leave a little bit earlier if you have demos or whatever. So that's something you can tell them. But just builds it up by saying, there's another way to say it, which is the second bullet, which is the meeting is going to be awesome. What time do you plan on coming in? And then you can say, hey, I was just calling to touch base with you before the team meeting to let you know that all of our top people and most of the team are coming in. Instead of saying tonight before the meeting, you can say are coming in at 8 a.m. to make some calls in order to get their weekends booked up, or you're planning on making some calls before, the meeting. Key staff will be on the phones by 8:30, 9 a.m., and everyone else will be there no later than 10 a.m. So what time are you coming in? And again, just building that up. So a key question to ask on Tuesdays, the day before the meeting, is, when is how they're feeling about their numbers to call the next day. So it says, this is on the PDI playbook, so second handout, this is why you want to have both in front of you at all times, is it says, how many do you need to set up for the weekend? How early can you be in? How many total numbers do you have? And if they're having trouble, you can say, let's look up some more. If I give you $1,000 to come up with 20 to 30 more numbers, went through every directory, Little League sports team, neighbors, you could thought jog, could you, come up with 20 to 30 more numbers? Cool. Then it's not a matter of can or can't. It's a matter of how bad you want it. If you can bring in, even just 10 more, you can call through them twice and end up with 4 demos. Sell blank amount this week and make blank amount of money. And just something to think about, if you just do that for the rest of the summer, you'll make $10,000 in income, which will get you to 30K, in sales. You'll be at the Dirty 30 event at the end of the summer with us in Austin, whatever it is that you want to promote. But just making sure they're coming in with a list of people to call. The worst thing ever as a manager is if you have a ton of people at your team meeting, but everybody is complaining about people not answering the phone, having a low list of names and numbers. So the more you can do to get them prepared for Wednesday, the better. So that's why Tuesday PDI is so huge, because it really does help set up the week. So that's for team meeting. And then for division meeting on Monday, it's like, hey, as you know, this Wednesday is huge because it's our momentum week leading up to the Super Bowl, which starts on Tuesday, the 19th. Again, I just wanted to remind you that we're sending out special invitations for members of our team to attend the division meeting on Monday. Since we're the pilot office, we have special seating at the event, but we do have a limited number of people that we can bring to the event. So I'm really excited because I actually wanted to use one of our seats on you, because I think you can do really well here. The meeting is going to be awesome. We have speakers from all around the division that have sold millions of dollars, of Cutco. It's a can't miss event. So it's actually going to be from blank to blank time, or it's going to be from 11 to 6 p.m. on Monday the 18th. I'm going to reserve your seat. Or were you going to ride or drive on your own? So that's the closing question. Just do you need to ride there, or are you going to be driving on your own? Okay, cool. The theme of the meeting is going to war. So come in your camouflage, come in your going to war gear, whatever that means for you. But most of us in West Houston are just going all camoed out, with maybe some black face paint or something, but everybody's going to know that we're coming for the Super Bowl. So just again, Tuesday PDI is so important to have those appreciation conversations with your people and appreciating them for all the work that they did this past week. But again, just building their confidence and getting them ready for the next week, and with names and numbers to call at the team meeting. So real quick, I know this video is a little bit longer than all the other ones, but Tuesday PDI is just so important. The first thing is kit back. So in your assistant manager or your team leader packets, I included a calling character references approach. Super easy. You just need to read it. And when you guys go on Web PDI and you click the little plus sign next to their name, you're going to see a section that says long-term notes, and in there should be their character references. If their character references are not in there for whatever reason, then you can use this same approach, calling the representative, leaving them a voicemail, and or texting it to them. So it's just like, hi, this is Mary Lou from Vector Marketing. How are you? I'm calling because blank person put you down as a character reference for their position with us. We are calling because we have an issue obtaining $400 in property that we loaned to them, and we just haven't heard from them in a while. And I don't want him or her to get into any legal trouble with the company. We're just wondering if you wouldn't mind calling them, letting them know that we need to get it checked in by Wednesday morning. That way the company doesn't take any legal action. We would really appreciate it. And if they give you any questions or a hard time, just say, well, they did send a contract to the property and we haven't heard from them in over, however many days, and we can't really get a hold of them, and they gave us your name in case we ever had an issue. So thank you. Have a great day. Let me know when they can come by and bring it in. Usually after you call their parents, they're pretty quick on getting them, so give you a call back. And if you're calling the representative directly because they don't have character references in the system and I can't find them for you, then you can just say, hey, dude, this is Matthew from Cutco, or you can send them a text message. I was just calling because, we're having an issue getting, your kit checked in, and I haven't heard from you in a while, and I don't want you to get into any legal trouble with the company. I was just wondering if, you can get your kit checked in by Wednesday morning. That way the company doesn't take any legal action. Let me know when you can stop by. Super appreciate it. Have a good day or whatever. But just making sure it's light but firm. But we do need to get some kits checked in, especially from those kids that you have not heard back from. Last thing is the PCs. So I actually have a document I'm going to send you that is our Gulf Coast Division's, personal consultation program, PC number 1 through 4. Any of your guys that started in the last 2 weeks probably haven't had a PC number 1, which is basically when we go through their names list with them and make sure that they have sufficient number of people to call so that they can rock the next week. This is super, super important to get done with your team ASAP. If they haven't had a PC number 1, they need a PC number 1 as soon as possible. You know, whether you meet them at the office Wednesday at team meeting or you set up a Skype, PC with them. Ideally you do it live though, so maybe you guys can meet up somewhere closer to where you live if you're a little bit further from the office, but you still want to meet with your team, or you do it at the office at Wednesday team meeting or Thursday team night out. Okay, but I'll be sending you that document. It's super easy. Just take a few minutes to review it. Before you actually have the PC. But some simple steps are, step 1 is you're just going through their initial names list of people and having them, write down on their new paper everybody that they can potentially set up for an appointment and walking through their chicken list. Then going through thought joggers with them and having them write more people down, giving them, showing them how they can contact more people through Facebook or getting more names and numbers from friends, for friends' parents. So it'll walk you through step by step. Main thing about it is getting their rec binder set up and making sure that they know how to ask you for recommendations properly so they can grow their business. And then also teach them, from what I taught you guys with Randy on Friday, how they can go back to their old customers and get even more recommendations. Because I'm sure there's tons of people that they saw that they know that they didn't get recommendations from properly, but they can now get recommendations from the right way and really build, that initial list of people. So that's what I would do in their PC number 1. Again, I'm going to send you the document. Thursday team night out. Okay, this is the last thing, I swear. So once you have it confirmed for Wednesday, is you want to build up team night out. This is so huge. Thursday team night out is not just a chance for the team to have fun, but it's a chance for you to get conversations with people and really help them think bigger about what's possible for them here in Cutco. The reason why people stick around is not because it's not because they really love making phone calls or they really love playing with knives all day. The reason people stick around is because they see vision for themselves here, more long term. Because remember, Cutco is kind of an odd job. It's not any normal job. And if they're not making money or getting really great experience, they're not really going to be around for very long. And I'm sure some of you can recall conversations we've had, whether it's been in a PC or it's been at a random event where I'm just like, hey dude, have you ever thought about, being an assistant manager? Have you ever thought about making a $2,000 paycheck? Whatever it is, or have you ever thought about winning a scholarship? And those are conversations that were pivotal in getting you to where you are right now. And Thursday nights are your chance, to have that conversation. And this Thursday for Team Night Out, I believe we're going to go. What am I saying? We're going to go eat something, and then we're literally going to go play Pokemon Go, and I think we're going to Bear Creek Park or some park nearby that has a lot of Pokemon. I don't really know which one it is, but I'm excited because I haven't had a chance to play much of my Pokemon Go, but that's going to be our team night out on Thursday. So get as many of your people as you can there, and it'll be super simple because everyone's on Pokemon Go, and everyone's going to want an excuse to be able to come out, hang out, be losers, and go play Pokemon. So, let's just make sure that we are contacting every person on our team, whether it's them personally or their references, so we can get their kids checked in or we can get them in for a PC. But the more people that we have at team meeting this Wednesday, the more explosive our weekend's going to be. Get them there, at 8 a.m. to join, the top people for Alliance. Kathy's going to be there. You do not want them to miss it, and yourself too. You don't want to miss it either. So, replay this video if you weren't able to get everything down. Ideally, you're taking notes as you watch these, but everything is in your PDI package. So make sure that you take full advantage. I'll call you guys probably like at 10 o'clock to make sure that you are on your way to the division meeting. But any questions, feel free to ask me. And if you can't PDI your team today for whatever reason, make sure that you communicate that with me earlier in the day so I can make sure to get it done, because I have an elevated event I need to get to at 2 p.m. so I won't have too much time to contact them before that. So just make sure you give me a call beforehand. But anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome meeting today. Make sure that you guys are the most impressive as always. West Houston, number 1, we always sit up front. Number 2, we always look the best. And number 3, we're always taking the notes and participating the most. And that's also how you're going to get the most out of the event. If you're taking the most notes, participating, more than anybody in the room, that's how you're really going to be able to absorb all the information and implement it for the push. But anyway, you guys are doing a great job. I'll be sure to recognize the results of this week on the group meeting later on today, and I will talk to you guys soon.